People should never live off other people's experiences, which is the biggest mistake that you get in the food industry. It is a dog-eat-dog world outside. But one thing, to make you f***ing stronger.
A Wagyu steak done with no effort whatsoever.
Oh, brave.
Wow.
And that is what we're talking about. Welcome to Paul Grant's Steakhouse.
Oh my God. It's premium. It's a premium experience. Yeah. Yeah, headed to Paul Grant for the first time. It's funny that we just came from where he used to be and we never visited the restaurant. So we're checking out this one here in Philippines.
Yeah.
It smells great though. Right, it's not dry and it's not sweet. It's that demi, yeah.
No, it's actually the tannins are well integrated, well balanced. Yeah, that's why I recommend it. So normally when I move people up from very sweet or sweet a slightly dry wine,
Right.
I would recommend this Pinot Noir because it's just like a step up before you start getting into more complex flavors, more depth and so forth. So this is why I recommend.
Yeah, I prefer it.
This is why I told you I recommend it. It's nice and light. It blends really well with our meals. Yeah, with our steaks. And as I said, being a Barbadian family that did it and knowing the Caribbean region and specifically blended for Caribbean region, it is really ideal. So slightly chilled, nice body, well integrated tannins, it's perfect. Yeah? Okay, so
Previously met Kurt in the Royal Hotel, and he's here to help Paul Grant procure amazing drinks and wines, and he really sell you this one, but
What's that face?
no, it's just it's intense, but whoa. Okay, it's like a good combination of dry. How is it dry and it isn't as dry as I thought it would be? You know what I'm saying?
no, it's not
It's not dried.
Yeah,
it's a well balanced.
yeah, balance.
Everything
Perfect pairing. Like if you had a real nice piece of steak here, with one like boiled corn.
I don't know much about wines. All I know that I don't like dry wines and I do not like sweet wines. I feel very nauseous afterwards. So it must be somewhere in between. And this wine that we have today is just your right touch.
You ready for me?
What is your journey from Ireland to Trinidad?
Oh, Port of Spain destroyed my arm, yeah?
Oh.
I have no arm,
Oh, okay.
yeah?
I didn't know.
Uh-huh. That's what make me a different type of chef.
Right.
My name is Paul Grant, Paul A. Grant. My restaurant is Hungry Irishman Steakhouse. As we call it. It is the name and that's how it is, yeah? 51 SS Erin Road, Philippines. It's very, very, very easy to find. And if people want, they just have to WhatsApp me and I will just send them the location. 358-2948. I've been born in the food industry from a very, very early age, yeah? From 6 years old, 6 years old. I was trussing and deboning chicken at the age of 7, yeah? When I was at school, coming home in the evening time, I was in the butcher shop, cleaning beef bones, making burgers and sausages. We had the biggest abattoir right beside us at home in Ireland, and I wasn't even the age of employment, and I got a job there.
Okay.
And from there, I ended up one day making a mistake, which was a good mistake. On a Friday, I went into the boning hall where all the real big knife skills are. And I've been watching And I went in and I picked up a knife and I started one day, but I didn't realize that the manager, the supervisor, was on a skyline tower watching down at me. And he screamed at me. And I thought I was fired. I started to cry because I was only a young boy.
Right.
Yeah. And he said, "You no longer work in the slaughterhouse anymore. You come and you work in here."
So then you had skills that you didn't know you had.
Oh, skills only started to develop there, yeah?
But he saw something in you and he decided to.
Well, my mentor was a gentleman called McBride, and he paired me off with him. And his skills and speed was effortless, yeah? Just like you see the way the water passes, it's just the same way as with him, with a knife. And I adopted his skills.
So that's why the love of steaks came?
That's where the start of steaks came. Wasn't just there. I ended up working in a pig factory with my skills. The anatomy is the same, just in a smaller version. I was able to apply there, get an employment there. Then I was able to go to another abattoir where I was able to do lamb and beef. And I was able to apply that skills there. So I had 1, 2, 3. With chicken and turkey is 4, 5. At the age of 16, landed on the shores of England. Ended up going to London. Working in London for 2 large catering companies. And then I ended up getting a choice of going to university. I got a distinction in culinary arts there. I was actually able to conduct some of the classes for the teacher. Because when I went into university, Smithfield University, everybody going in was going in green. They wouldn't even know what a piece of butcher string looked like, or how to do a butcher's knot, or even how to hold a knife. I'd already surpassed that. I had skills coming everywhere, yeah? So that was very, very easy for me to adopt. And I got my first master's degree. I was in and out within 6 months, a complete distinction. And from there, then I went to work for Sloane Street Catering Butchers, which is where we were dealing with the royal family and British Airways, Lufthansa Airways, KLM Airways. I was responsible for dealing with all of their meats and everything. And then I ended up going to work for a company in Holland called Flexman. And they exported my services all over Europe. And from there, then I met up with a beautiful young lady, Jewish young lady. Got married, went to Barbados on a honeymoon. I met a gentleman there called Senator Keith Laurie, who was the president of the Barbados Agricultural Society. We got talking. And Barbados is a very, very big tourist industry. And he was always in the belief that people don't want a New York steak, or they don't want things that they're accustomed to at home. They want stuff that is locally, yeah? So I said, listen, well, let me do a little thing with you with lamb. And I walked into their fridge in Cipero Street, and I pulled out a lamb carcass. And I asked him, well, what do you normally do with this? And he said, well, we just normally chop it up. Well, I said, let me show you what I could do with this. And I displayed my wide, give them a variety of cuts that what the hotels use, because dealing with hotels and restaurants and everything else from England, I know what everything is required. So I was able to fabricate the carcass of lamb too. And he was so fascinated to see like all of these different cuts, different prices. Farmers can make money now.
Right.
Farmers can now benefit from what they're doing and now to supply the local market. So he set out and he got all the restaurants from the West Coast all over Barbados, brought them all inside, the culinary team, the whole works, and I'd done a live demonstration for them. And they loved it. The F&Bs, the managers, the directors, the chefs, they were excited to see something new and fresh coming into the island that could be used on the change and the taste buds. And you could hear the whispers of the chefs in the background, what they could do with it, yeah? So everybody was excited. A successful show. I was back in London working, and I got a letter in the post with the tickets to return to Barbados. It was supposed to be for 6 months. So I resigned from my position because I had a very good position where I was. And I said, well, the grass is always greener on the other side. But I didn't dam my bridges, so if I wanted to go back, I could go back to where I was with open arms, yeah? And I came to Barbados. Unfortunately, it didn't stay 6 months. It went from 6 months, then somebody else taking my contract, then somebody else taking my contract. And basically, then met with the immigration in Barbados, and basically I had a free rein. And we developed now a market for the restaurants. Now we have to teach the butchers how to utilize the skills, how to teach them properly, how to fabricate, packaging, marketing. It was a whole new ballgame that was set out for them. And we started moving the West African and the black belly lamb sheep into the restaurants and hotels. Vida France, which is a fantastic chef from France, and they were taking some of the local beef. So now we opened the market now with local beef and the lamb. And then you had Chickmong Foods, who are also doing processing of pork. And we're also now able to do the cuts of pork that we do in European countries and get it into the restaurants and hotels. And we started doing big shows for different companies, marketing aspects. And then I end up representing the Culinary team versus like British Airways, Canadian Airways. So it was a big competition, and I won that. And then that time, Mia Motley was the Minister of Tourism, and she was an absolute gem. And then I got the opportunity to do a very large big show for the heads of CARICOM. And then they also had guests from South Africa, Namibia as well, Botswana. And I done a large presentation of the local meats. And at that time, Chesi Chagan was the Guyanese Prime Minister, yeah? And a small little guy, but very cheerful. Owen Atta as well. But the actual head of CARICOM himself, yeah? They requested me to come across to Cardi, which is Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute in UWI. And Edward Carrington at that time was CARICOM head of state. He was living in Guyana, but he was a Tobagonian. Yeah, but he's deceased. I think it's about 3 or 4 years now. Rest his soul. And from there, I've never looked back. I've always been teaching. I've been all over the world, 32 countries in the world working, teaching. Worked in countries that I need interpreters. I never expected none of that. But I'm still a normal, humble person. But I love what I do. You never know what one has from one restaurant to the next, yeah? And they all have a different experience. Every chef has a different hand, yeah? And the only thing that I can say is that people should never live off other people's experiences, which is the biggest mistake that you get in the food industry. You will hear in the office, oh, I went out last night and I went by Paul Grant and I had a rare steak and it was absolutely fantastic. You have never eaten steak, but you want to come by Paul Grant, and the first thing you do is you order a steak and it comes rare. You want to scream. You don't want to see the sign of hemoglobin or any form of pink whatsoever. You want to see your meat well done. And those are the things that we're getting these days within the restaurant industry, yeah?
Yeah, the cow can be moving still, right?
Yes.
So how do you prefer your steak?
It depends on my mood.
Okay.
It
So what mood are you in right now?
Well, today, I would probably go with a medium well steak. Yeah. Tomorrow, it could be a medium rare. It just depends on my mood.
And this is excellent. This is a cava done the same way like a champagne, except obviously you can't call it champagne. This is Spanish wine, a sparkling wine. So, and it's a rosé, and it's an iced rosé, so you'll have slightly more fruitiness to it, which is very suited to a Trini palate. Trinidad tend to love a little sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
there
nice.
you go.
Yeah. Nice.
Cava like prosecco, like champagne, goes with anything. Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much.
So you guys enjoy.
Thank you. So Chef Grant told us he has a surprise for us. And I was thinking, on the lower end, picanha or something, but here he brings out a Wagyu steak for both of us. Not just one person, for both of us. We have some sides as well. We have some corn. I guess he will explain everything else, mushrooms and broccoli. Yes, chef.
I'll wait and see the first floor.
Okay.
It should be done with no effort whatsoever.
Right, he said, so it should be done with no effort whatsoever. Right, okay. And we have okay, looking for some characteristics in here. Now, what temperature you did this?
Well, it was done medium, so by the time you get to it, it'll be a medium well because it's been sitting on the white top.
Okay, so he said it's been sitting a while, but you are seeing some marbling in here.
You're not just seeing some marbling. When you put it in your mouth, you'll know what marbling is.
Yeah, looking forward to it. All right.
Who brave?
Oh, Lord.
Who brave?
Wow.
And that is what we're talking about. Welcome to Paul Grant Steakhouse.
Oh, my God.
You hear that? Oh my God, yeah.
Minimal chewing, minimal effort to just consume this steak. It is divine. The balance between, the meat and the fat. This is superb, and I now see why people will just go for this cut up steak, this type of meat. It's premium. It's a premium experience. Yeah.
I look like you want to cry. Open up. Okay. Yeah, she figured it out.
Yeah.
Figured it out?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Rendelina, you need to taste this. I think we watched enough shows on YouTube and stuff, and yeah, you really need to get this in, yes?
Okay.
Sorry, this is a big piece. You shouldn't even get me putting this whole thing in my mouth.
How does it pair with the
I really can't say no. You need to eat your piece. You need to eat your piece. Come on.
Okay. Right. So over the years, of course, we've tried certain Wagyus and stuff like that, but apparently it's a fake Wagyus out there. Right? So finally getting a chance to get an authentic Wagyu steak. And I mean, look at this thing. It's like a slab of perfection. Huh?
You got it that bad.
Wow, how am I supposed to cut it, honey?
That's your time against the grade. Well, you go ahead now.
I cut it how I see it to eat it. What is this? It's feeling Dog, it feel like fat and meat at the same time.
It is.
Okay.
That's what the marbling does.
Oh my god. Yo. Wait. Damn. John, what the hell? Mm. Wow. I get, you know, out of the hundreds of times I say this, I think this is a real melting among moments. Yo, you see, if you was making steak like this, that'll be trouble.
First of all, you need to afford that cut of steak to make it home.
Wow, this is insane.
Clearly, some sort of buttered corn and there's some thyme. That's what the flavors I'm getting. The chef will correct me. Is it buttered corn with thyme?
It is Irish Kerrygold butter.
Ooh.
Right, Irish Kerrygold butter. We know and love in Trinidad here.
And then I have a seasoning inside of that.
A seasoning.
A dried herb seasoning.
Oh.
But it does have thyme as a prominent. No?
No time.
It
No
tastes
Only
like...
time is on your wrist. No time on that.
Well, it tastes like thyme. Whatever blend, it tastes like
Okay.
a prom.
Good blend, yeah.
But it tastes good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Get a little bit of these mushrooms here. All right. Okay. All right. I'll taste it on its own because you know, you want to get the flavors by itself. Mushrooms is always a great addition when you have steak.
We have been meaning to visit Four Grants for the longest time. And anytime we try to schedule something, is either we get too busy. The last time, thank you. Last time he moved, and after he came here, so he wasn't too sure. And I'm happy to say after all of these years, I could confidently say this has been the best steak I've ever eaten in the country, and I'm real sorry it took me so long to eat it because I guess everything that's happened when it's supposed to happen, right?
We only have 2 dull months out of the year. So we make the best of what we can do.
Right.
It's knowing how to survive and how to give the customers what they want. And that's what it's all about. If you look where we are, we're in the middle of nowhere. And customers still find us.
Yeah.
North, south, east and west, wherever in the map, they still find us here. And that tells us that we're doing something right.
So your reputation precedes you.
Well, that is not for me to say. That is for my customers and others on the outside, yeah?
What was your experience in Trinidad being so far?
Find another question. So you want me to tell you that I had 2 9mm put to my head? I've had an ice pick in my back. I've been sprayed with mace. I've had a car accident in Port of Spain Hospital that destroyed my arm. You really want me to come out with that one? I would leave that out completely, yeah? There was a lot of things with Cipero Street. Cipero Street was okay. It was 2.5 years of suffering, believe me. I mean, those days I never met $1. Not a cent. Yeah? I slept on, there's a big bench at the bottom down here, right there, on the other side of them people, a large bench there. I slept on that for about 3 to 4 months. That was my bed. And that was, at that stage, they had just decided to do curbside. When I come down here, I had nothing because we lost everything down on where we were in Central. Because, again, we're not going to go down on that road, but it was not a nice, it was a bitter one, yeah? 2.5 years of suffering, and I mean pure suffering. I've had my electricity cut 4 or 5 times, yeah? I'm not ashamed to say it because It is the reality of life of everybody, yeah? Because if people try to tell you different, well, then they're only fooling themselves. It's complete BS. And today, we don't have room for BS. Because COVID has taught us a hell of a lot of things, yeah? There ain't no such thing as a brother's keeper anymore. People have no compassion. It is a dog-eat-dog world outside. But at the same time, you go through realities. T&T come to cut your electricity bill. But it is unfortunate that 4 hours before they come and cut your bill, you just go on and purchase all your meat and everything else for your restaurant. Yeah? Thinking that you might have had 2 days more before they cut. But hey, it's happened 4 times. I have no shame about it, yeah? But I was able to bounce back, dust myself off, and keep going, and keep going. And then, about from just before Restaurant Week last year, I started to see a little turn. People started to come out a lot more. I started to see more takeaways. This was encouraging. Then I contacted Syra Mohammed, who is the big boss of Restaurant Week, yeah. And I say, I'm on. Let's do it. We put together a menu and we run it. And it worked absolutely fantastic. And it didn't stop there. Then we run into, I have a show called Meat Festival, Meat Fest, and I have that every year, every October, going into November. And it was really only for 1 day. Then it went for 3 days. Now it is 10 days. Yes. So it is the last weekend in October, right to the first Sunday in October. Yeah?
My birthday, okay, nice.
Listen, if you like your belly, that show, that is designed for that, yeah? Where you might sit down and have 1 T-bone, you might have 3 T-bones on your plate, yeah? But for small money. Yeah? Where you would pay $4.50 for a T-bone, the 3 T-bones might cost you $4.50. The whole idea is to give. Not everybody has. And those who have ain't spending it. So you have to know how to pull the money from the people's pockets. But you have to do it in a right way that people are getting value for money.
Exactly.
So after that then we kept going. Then Christmas, we had a good Christmas. And then the owner here of this property, Dr. Ramroot, Jonathan, he contacted me. I was looking, but I was looking more central, to go back in central, because there is the hub for any good business, yeah? And I've always been a person for outdoors. I love that rustic setting. And I said, well, hey, let me come and take a look. He sent me a video. I said, okay. It's like dangling a carrot in front of a donkey. You nibble and you nibble. So I said, listen, I want to come and view. I come and I view, and they offered me here. Then I looked at the 2 other places. And I said, well, what's the price for both? And he said, and I said, nah, that definitely not interested, not. And I said, I'm definitely not coming to the restaurant and I have to clean up somebody else's mess using one lounge or using a party upstairs. I don't clean up nobody else's question mark, yeah? And I said, well, I will take all, but I take all at this price. His father was overseas in Canada. He withdrew back. He said, okay, we'll talk to him. Next night I get a phone call and I said, let's come and talk. We came and talked, and then we put things together. So we opened on the 10th of April, which was a couple of days before my birthday. And we haven't looked back since. It has been a very, very positive journey. We haven't given much marketing towards the lounge and the other 2 rooms for weddings, because for me, I would rather get this under control before I look to do something else outside.
Right.
But if people call and they ask for it, yes, it's available, no problem. But for marketing outside, I'm not there yet. I just want the restaurant. I want customers like yourself to come inside, eat, be happy, and go home and say, hey, I've enjoyed myself tonight. And this is where we are today. And now I'm sitting in front of you two beautiful people doing this interview. I've seen some of your work previously, and you've done some good reviews, and you have quite a lot of following.
Yes.
So, some food bloggers are worth following, yeah?
We'll bring that.
You see, the thing is, I'm not a lot of people.
You're right. I have no idea.
I am a different individual.
Great.
I'm a different breed of chef compared to the rest of them outside. I'm not a prima donna. I've seen Trinidad change so much. It's gone from a beautiful country to a fucking shithole. When I'm in hospital lying down in the orthopedic ward, I see 3 gunmen coming in to kill 1 man in the ward.
Wow.
I see another man trying to escape, go through the skylights. Yeah, I see a man die on his family's shoulders when they turn off the machine. I see them bring a man in and rest him on a bed, and he dead within 30, 40 seconds. So what do you want me to tell you about Trinidad? And then 2 9mm and ice pick and mace, yeah?
Terrible.
But I make the best of my life. Yeah, but they screwed mine.
Well, when we met, I think that was like maybe 2 years ago. I think he was talking about like, I think you say he was looking for some kind of some kind of grant.
I have a surgeon ready and waiting for me in India, in Chennai.
Okay.
I talk to him every month.
Okay.
We have a fantastic, if I have any problems or complications, I'm not going to Port of Spain General Hospital. If he is in surgery, he will call me straight after surgery. And he will tell me everything. If I have a problem, I will describe everything on the phone, video cam, and he will say, right, Paul, get this, do this. When you have that, call me back at this time tomorrow or whatever, and let us take it step by step. And we deal with it. I've had to take a bone out of my arm, and that's physically cut and remove a bone out of my arm. I've had to take a large syringe and shove it up inside and extract what's inside. I've laid in a corner crying many, many nights in pain. Those are not nice memories. Yeah? But one thing, to make you fucking stronger. And watch my face, I'm telling you that, yeah? Because there is not one chef you can get to come in and match the speed and the skill just with one person in that kitchen. But that is the success story. Yeah? In one way, it's a blessing because I'm able to actually see my true characteristics within my own capabilities, yeah?
Right.
And as a culinary arts teacher, to teach a left-hand student is a left-handed, yeah? It's a mirror image. So for me, it was a mirror image. I learned to sign my own name. I learned to use a knife with my left hand. I can debone, I can do whatever with my left hand, yeah? But I just have to take my time.
Right.
Yeah? But otherwise than that, every day is a different day. Yesterday I was relaxing. Today I'm sitting in front of you.
So we just had a one-of-a-kind experience here at Grant's Steakhouse. We've never had, me in particular, never had a Wagyu steak. And we've been eating steaks for quite some time. Between this year and last year, we actually used to purchase from a farmer and used to have ribeyes and tomahawk steaks. So me having a Wagyu steak now, it makes me realize that it is something that you have to work your way up to because it is so rich. It's so much protein till and the fat content with the marbling and that kind of thing. It is so rich till it could be upsetting. So it is something that you have to work your way up to, in my opinion. So if you're a first timer having a Wagyu steak, I would recommend that you share it, not just because of the price point, but because it's just so much. It's just such a rich experience. What you want to say, Rendell?
There's so much. Don't lie to people, and it's plenty.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's real plenty. Oh God.
I don't know if what I said encompass everything. Yeah, I don't know what I said if it encompass everything, but it is something to experience. But just not to that quantity, boy. Hey.
Yeah, we could have easily shared that.
Yeah, we could have, but the size, everything kind of come together nicely. Like the corn and the broccoli, everything had a different flavor profile. And that kind of just bringing everything with the Wagyu steak. And then Kirk has such a vast knowledge of wines, and he's somebody that you could definitely learn from if you don't know anything about wines like myself. And he will tell you what is the best pairing for your particular cut of steak. So yeah, Polygrant, thank you so much. And I think he wanted to surprise us tonight, and he's like, there was just a moment where I need to express my gratitude, because he said that the reason why we had Wagyu steak tonight, yes, we came to order and that kind of thing, but he wanted to surprise us with something. And he said the reason why he gave that to us tonight is because he wanted to show appreciation for all these small businesses that we help out, and for all the people that never said thanks or got the opportunity to say thanks. He wanted to show gratitude in his own way. So
Yeah, that was
check
all
it out,
nice.
guys.
Almost cried, yeah.